The City of Stafford has elections coming up, and there are a lot of changes within the Home Rule Charter. But what exactly is the Home Rule Charter? The City's Secretary, Ms. Tamika Lewis, and Chairman Commissioner, Mr. Robert Sorbet, explains it all.
The Home Rule Charter defines the structure, power, and the duties for the City of Stafford. It also grants the cities the ability to pass laws to govern themselves as we see fit. In the Home Rule Charter review process, I handle preparing the agenda as well as taking minutes and making sure the commissioners on the review commission were aware of the dates, times, and the location for all the meetings scheduled.
The commission met starting in October of 2017, and we went through May of 2018. We were meeting on average about once a month. The process starts under state law. State law mandates that if you're a Home Rule Charter city, which Stafford is, that the Home Rule Charter has to be reviewed at a minimum every 5 years. And so every 5 years, City Council will get a nominated commission that will sit and review the Home Rule Charter. And so we were tasked with going through the charter, which is basically the city's constitution, and see if there were any recommended changes to make to it. One of them being the elections. Becoming a home rule city, Stafford was then given the option of changing times and limits and the way that council members would be elected. Originally, it was kept the same format as the general law city, 2-year terms, and it was by plurality. So the top 3 vote getters would be elected to City Council. We looked at it and went back and forth, and one of the things that we felt would be better for the city that we recommended to council and to the voters was to go to by poll position, which is different from district, because district you represent a geographical area of the city. We didn't feel that that was good for Stafford. We're only 7 square miles. So each member of council now will still be elected in an at-large position, but it's by position 1 through 6. And so instead of being lumped in with the group, you now will run for position 1 or position 2, and then your opponents would have to choose if they're going to challenge you in position 1 or would they like to run in position 2. And what this does for the voters is gives the voters a very distinct choice between candidate A or candidate B.
Now, once those recommendations were approved by the City Council, the City Council then sent those recommendations to the November 6, 2018 election, where the citizens of Stafford were able to vote on all recommendations, and all recommendations were passed. Due to the Home Rule Charter review amendments that were passed in November of 2018, the mayor will be elected to serve a 4-year term. In the past, the mayor's term was 2 years. Council members will also be elected by position instead of the top 3 vote getters. Also, 2 council members will be elected for 2 years. 1 council member will be elected for 3 years.
The enjoyable part of public service and being on a charter review commission is when you can have a positive contribution to the community. The fact that we were able to come together as a group of 7 members of the community, and I take this time to send my appreciation to the other 6 members that were on a commission, because they all did a great job and it was a sacrifice to come and meet. So for me, it was a sense of accomplishment of good for the community and the satisfaction that the community reciprocated by saying that we had done a good job by approving those recommendations. There's a lot that goes into a Home Rule Charter. It's not a very long document, but it is very detailed. And I would encourage people to take a look at it because it tells how your government, your city government, is going to operate.
The Home Rule Charter and also the amendments that were passed in November 2018 are located on the City of Stafford's website. If you scroll down to important links, you'll see a link for the Home Rule Charter and also a link for the Home Rule Charter amendments. Now, if you go to the City Secretary's page under the Government tab at the top of the page, you'll see the City Secretary Elections tab. Once you click on the Elections tab, you'll see all the provided documents, including information about mail-in ballots, information about early voting, and also information about the election process. The City of Stafford's website is www.staffordtx.gov.
For Stafford Weekly News, I'm Raquel Sims.